A very good morning and a hearty welcome to everyone. This is Shraddha Mishra, Ambassador of Change from GETI, that is Global Education and Training Institute. I'll be the host for your live talk today. I would be honored to tell that GETI is founded and conceptualized by Dr. Sunita Gandhi with a broad vision of disruptive education. It is one of the most premium training institutes of India. Under it, we provide two types of training. One is pre service training, where we teach trainers who aspire to be outstanding teachers in future. And the other is in service training, where we train teachers who are already in service. On these live forums, we conduct live detox. Under it, we invite bureaucrats, policymakers, researchers, entrepreneurs from around the globe to enlighten us with varied educational practices carried out. Under the spectacular vision of Dr. Gandhi, we are continuously working towards the goal of transformative changes in education and hence these endeavors. Today, this morning, I'm very privileged and thrilled to have with us on board Miss Muthmainnah, ma'am. Very welcome, hearty welcome to you, ma'am.
Yeah, namaste.
Namaste. Muthmainnah, ma'am, she is an assistant professor at Universities Al Azhar, Mandar in West Sulawesi, Indonesia. She is a lecturer, a global speaker, a researcher, and an international leader. Some of her achievements at her university were she was the chairman of the Indonesian language department at the teacher training and education faculty. She was in public relations at her university. She was the director of Women's Center Studies and deputy director of the Quality Assurance Unit, also at her university. She is now the deputy director of the Language and Character Development Institute at her university. In the current year, she is active as an international member, international coordinator conference, and international trainee. She is also on the International Board for Professors and Experts of the Scientific Innovation Research Group, Egypt, and the International Board of Kuwait representing Asia. She is a country head, an ambassador, an international reviewer, an editor board, and an international advisory board of international journals. And she is also a country director for many international organizations representing Indonesia. She also has excellent experience as a visiting professor to lecture on ICT, technology in education, research methods, education management, empowerment of women, entrepreneurship, teaching, research and development, and many other topics relevant to ICT research and teacher development, SDG for quality education and quality enhancement in higher education at many universities. She is the winner of many awards, more than 90 awards in the world, such as Outstanding Professor, Outstanding Leadership, Best International Influencer, and Best Emerging Professor of the Year, International Award for Working Women, Best Speaker, SDG Warrior, Best Global Outstanding Education Innovation. Her international achievements are as Doctor Honoris Causa from La Haye University and Candidate Dr. HC from the Philippines. She is also a member of the United Nations Volunteer Roster. She is the advisory board of Indonesian Education Share to Care Volunteer. Her interest and doctorate areas are developing instructional materials, Assure, TEFL, ICT in education, and cybergogy. She is ready for international collaboration and teamwork. There is so much and so forth to learn from you, ma'am. A very hearty welcome to you.
Thank you so much.
Now, without much ado, I would like and request you to please introduce your topic and then we can start with the presentation that you prepared. Over to you,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you so much. Happy good day, everyone. Good afternoon from Indonesia. I'm very happy and I'm grateful to be here to be with you. Thank you so much to the founder of Global Education and Training Institute, GETI, and also my beautiful moderator, the ambassador, the global ambassador from GETI, my sister Raja Misra. Thank you for invite me and then having me today. Congratulations to GETI for this wonderful international webinar. So allow me to share my screen. Yeah. Today's topic, we are going actually to talk and discuss about accelerating digital transformation on education to pursue the 21st century skill. A little bit about my national and international organization. My name is Muthmainnah. For simple name, you can call me Nina. My home base at my university, Universitas Al-Azhar Mandar, Indonesia. Okay, I want to share to you about right now what happening in Indonesia, and then my experience as educator. I am lecturer and research, and then we are so many have discussion about the happening, what is actually the novelty right now in our education sector. As well, during the COVID-19, we are actually accelerating our digital transformation. And then we do really hope by the designing the activities based on the Gen Z or our student right now, it will be help them to we have responsibility to increase their 21st century skill. I think this is the very important thing that we must should do right now. Okay, let me check about the condition. This is the condition today is about the digital transformation on education. Based on my opinion, my interpretation, and then my observation, I give my summary. I concluded that today digital transformation into the 5 highlight trends, new trends on education. The first one about injected artificial in education. I think we are right now the benefit of COVID-19, we are integrate the technology in our learning and teaching activities. And one more, and one of the best software acting today, it really help us and have a benefit by using artificial intelligence. Yeah, this is the machine that actually really help us as educators. So many applications, so many tools, and then so many technology created by artificial intelligence that help us as educators. So the second about this one, education transformation. Right now, actually, most of the education theory that support about the education transformation, and then when we are have a COVID-19 today, we are practically this education transformation. We are familiar with the remote teaching, virtual classroom, distance education. Yeah, we can doing anytime, anywhere, and then we must be adapt with the new habit and new culture, namely ICT culture or information, communication, and technology culture. That's why, based on this condition, we have so many disruption on based on education sector. We must be redesign our curriculum related to the novelty that happening right now. And then, absolutely, we are injected technology, whatever our learning environment. Maybe some of us do hybrid learning environment or blended learning environment or just fully online. This is come back again. What is actually your situation, your condition? For me, in my in my class, sometimes we are use a blended environment, learning environment, but also sometimes we are totally full online. This is based on the situation and the condition related to the student need. Yeah, I give this choice for my student. I wanted to blend it, or we are wanna totally fully online. This is based on my student want and the student need, not from my choice by myself. Yeah, and then the infuse smart digital classroom management. This is a very important that as educator right now, we must be collaborate so many activities to how to engage our student, and that's why this is the triple quantum. I think this is a very important for today's situation. The first one about quantum learning. This is because we have a new habit, a new culture. We must be integrated by the technology. So the quantum learning, right now, we must change in the way we are learning. We are also integrate so many application and the technology when we are learning. What about in teaching? So in quantum teaching, this is actually the main core of this quantum teaching about the way we are delivering our teaching material. It should be into the student-centered learning approach, and then based on the student want, the student need. This is will be create a new or a novelty in your classroom, and then as educator we must do the creativity and then the doing innovation in our classroom. So this is the triple quantum. Of course, the technology, yeah, right now we must integrate the technology, but so many conditions we have faced a challenge like today's because there are so many educator or the teacher like in my country in Indonesia, they are still low skill in how to use, how to teach, and how to training their student with this technology. That's why our ministry have policy to do the training for the educator or the teacher, how they are teaching teaching method, they must be changed because today's we are going to be digital, and then mobilize e-learning, and then right now mobile learning is being for a digital support, whatever your learning environment, maybe for blended or maybe a hybrid learning or totally fully online. And then about the digital classroom management, today's we are not talking about the technology, the way we are learning right now, just only this is for the student, but this is the novelty because we are doing physical distancing and then the social distancing, all of us involved with this condition. For the student itself, their parents and their family, also for our community like in university, the staff and the administrator also must be going to be a digital and then use so many platform or learning management system. They must be master this learning management system. And then the cybergogy, this is one of actually the theory when you are combined between pedagogy and the technology. This is namely cybergogy developing by Wang and Grant. And then in the cybergogy, actually this is not only about our pedagogy, the way we are teaching, and also integrate the technology. What about we are choose the technology, but also this is support how we are right now facilitate the student to increase or improve their metacognitive skill, knowing how to learn. This is a very important right now because our students, they are the generation C. They are born digital, they are familiar with the smartphone or internet, but actually the way they are learning still need our guide, for example. And the last, digital vaccine. We must understanding the condition today, everything by internet, and then everything we are going to be digitally. And right now, the evolution of education, we have the learning outcome today must be related to the industrial revolution 4.0. So the ways of the thinking of the student and the educator must be into the higher order thinking skill, mostly to be more have a creativity and doing innovation. This is related to the 21 century skill in the communication, collaboration, doing collaboration, critical thinking or problem solving, and then to be creativity. This is actually the main core of my presentation today. Let's check about the right now our menu. Actually, we are going to discuss about why do we need 21 century skill, and then what about instructional design, aggregate into blended learning, and then the last, designing and creating fun-time material to pursue the critical thinking or the 21 century skill. Let's check one by one. The first thing we do right now, why we do need the 21 century skill. Let me check about the definition of the meaning of the 21 century skill itself. Let's check about this is the broad set of knowledge, a skill, work, habit, the character, and then this is about how we are right now. The very important to changing the mindset to get the success for today's world. And then this is actually 21 century skill. This is required to enable an individual to face this challenge right now. We are in the globally. We are connected globally. We are in the digitally. Our education transforming. And then we must doing some of collaboration from another country. And also this is to doing some of creativity, progressing, and then as a human resource, and we must be adapting with the change. Yeah, like today's everything changing. We are going to be a digital, and then we need to be how to support our student to improve their 21 century skill, the basic foundation in education, or we are as educator, we must facilitate them in our learning activities. What should we do to help the student to pursue the 21 century skill? This is the first thing to do, an easy way to understand and remember the classification about the 21 century skill, because this is very broad theory, and then to do the implementation to application, what should we do as educator to pursue the 21 century skill in the simple action in our class itself. Let's have a look. The 21 century skill, there are three big issues about the learning skill. The learning skill that I mentioned before about the 21 century skill, learning skill. This is the 4C, the communication, collaboration, critical thinking, or problem solving, and then creativity. And then we must have this literacy skill. And then unfortunately, I'm telling you, Indonesia still low in this category, literacy skill. I think India is better than in Indonesia, but don't worry, we are still, how to say, we are going to improve our literacy skill right now. And the last about the life skill, this is a very important. This is because connected to the student for their next future career. Must be have this about the life skill. They cannot be doing flexibility and adaptability with the changing what is happening right now. Like Chase, we are in the globally connected globally, and also everything to be going to be a digital. The life skill about the leadership and responsibility. That's why we must be building up our community, collaboration community. Like today's we are meeting and then having so many international collaboration. We are an ambassador, for example, like you. This is about the leadership competence. And then have initiative or the creativity, and then self-direction. I think this is a very important when we are talking about self-direction, because this is related to the autonomy in learning. Self-direction and self-determined in learning, I think, a very important life skill today. And then cross-cultural interaction, like today we are doing a cross-cultural interaction. I am from Indonesia, and then this is my visiting lecture, my visiting science with GETI. Thank you so much, GETI, for having me. Okay, come back again to our material about we need a 21 century skill, because why? This is a very important 21 century skill, because sometimes when we know the theory of the 21 century skill, we know, all of us as educators, we understand right now we are to be going to be a digital. Everything must be globally, and then we are doing interaction not only for the local with our local community, but how we are right now have so many challenge, and then increase our competence to do to support the 21 century skill. The first one, because learning is complete and holistic. Holistic, this is mean that in education, our responsibility as educator not only about we are transfer our knowledge, but also how we are as educator, we have a responsibility how to improve the student character, the student behavior, attitude, value, how they are appreciate their self, and also how they are gonna be involved with have a problem solving with what is actually happening in our globe right now. For example, yeah, like a climate. Right now we have problem with the climate action, and then they must do having like problem solving with how to reduce the climate action, for example. And then this is this is our responsibility as a human being, that we have duties not only for ourselves, but also we have responsibility with our school, family, society, and our nation. I think this is must be understanding about the 21 century skill, and then how we are as human being. We have a good as a good citizen, and then we can have potential and competent to solve some of the problem in our maybe in the small action it with our community itself. We have a problem solving. And then simple teaching, I think this is you know that the 21 century skill are the key to be empowerment the children and adolescents to what about to having the solution for the issue that concern to their or our life. And then today's we have so many problem when we are having this COVID-19, the social change, the economic down, and then school have to as educator on education, the quality of education for sustainable development goals number 4, that we must to prepare the student for their future career and their life. We must prepare them. So the soft skill for the 21 century skill that I have mentioned before, that we have 4C, communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and then creative. And also we should be, this is the soft skill as the citizen, and also about the character, the moral, and the value to appreciate all of us and then appreciate the diversity between us. Well, sorry. Well, about the mutual competence, that actually this is connected to the core life skill and other competence with the 21 century skill that actually we can be see here about the development of the individual self. I think that we should be the core skill like self awareness, and then having this one about decision making, and then problem solving and management, how to do the to managing, and have empathy. Empathy, this is about the, yeah, you know, the character. In Indonesia we have actually namely Pancasila character. And for 21 century skill, what should we must have today? Actually, this is about the social skill, critical thinking, creative thinking, communication, information communication, and media literacy. And actually, this is we must do in our classroom activities. How we do that? I will show it to you my experience when I actually integrating the 21 century skill in my classroom. Let's have a look about the integrating 21 century skill into the teaching and learning process. How to know, how to analyze that actually as educator we are implementing or integrating the 21 century skill in our learning activities, our teaching activities. This is, I have divided into three factors that actually you can be analyze and see the outcome of the 21 century skill. That actually you are implementing the 21 century skill in your learning and teaching activities. The first one in academic, let's take a look about the academic here, that we know the student where they are doing communication, clarity, focus, and then consideration of the audience. I mean that they know how do the way they are communication with their friend itself. What about they are doing communication with their parent, their teacher, or something like that, and then they have very clearly in communication. You know, the big problem, like in my classroom, mostly the student in communication, like me, I'm teaching English in my classroom. They cannot do this communication in their in front of in the classroom. When I ask them what is happening, actually this is about their cognitive behavior still low. What is cognitive behavior? They don't have confidence, and then they don't know how to do the communication clarity. This is the example of problem. So all of totally in our classroom, if we have 40 students, all of the students must be active doing this communication. But sometimes in our classroom, only 5 or 7 students that actually doing communication and interaction in our classroom. And this is the big problem when we are wanna be analyzing our activities that actually totally we are implementing the 21 century skill, and we are facilitate our student to improve their 21 century skill. And the second about demonstrate the ability to solve problem using higher order thinking or reasoning skill. This is a very important because related to the education theory belum taxonomy. Right now as educator, we must support with the student the higher order thinking skill. Doing innovation and doing creativity. So utilize technology, of course. We must, as educator, we must training our student to utilize and use technology, media, or tools in our learning activities in our education. The next about social, the student or the educator like us today, we can doing a collaboration and demonstrate adaptability. Yeah, this is the social collaboration. I think this is a very important because when we are doing some of collaboration, this is actually we are integrating 21st century skill. A collaboration itself, we are building up our community between student with my student, for example, and then for for the student with another university in Indonesia, or the another choice, we are doing collaboration between my student and then with a GETI Foundation. So this is the simple when we are doing collaboration. So many collaboration we cannot be managed actually if we are totally have been implementing this 21st century skill in our activities. And the last, in the CPIC, participate as a member of a local, global, and digital society. Yeah, today's actually we are connected globally, and then we are doing so many collaboration globally. We are building up our community in the digital society like GETI today. We have right now a digital society. I am from Indonesia. I'm doing collaboration with GETI today. Well, let's have a look the next about the 5 Ks that the 5 Ks 21 century skill and behavior that the teacher need to think. This is very important, but actually in my country we have still a challenge to do this, to implementation this 5Ks 21 century skill. Let's have a look one by one. About the learning is no longer a solo activities. Yeah, right now so many resources, and then how we are as educator facilitate with the student to do to collaborate, to do the integration with the technology in their learning. And the teacher is no longer the only person teaching. Let's check it out. We can be use so many tools, so many media, and so many technology to support our teaching material to be more interesting, having fun, and enjoyable. Learning is no longer passive anymore. Right now, we have responsibility how we are developing and designing our classroom into the active activities. Books are just the start, and the last teaching is then beyond the classroom. Well, the next we are going to discuss about the instructional designs. We get into the blended learning. What should we do when we are doing a blended learning, and then to support the student to be more active in the classroom? This is the choice of instructional designs. Let's have a look. This is we are come back again with the theory of learning. A learning theory. For example, we choose one of the theory about constructivism, and then we choose instructional theory, assure, and then instructional design. This is the activities in our classroom. We use, for example, Gagne 9 event instructional design. And then we are doing in the blended or e-learning environment. So, what about your learning strategy? What should you do to make this totally, you will be implementing the instructional design in your classroom by using the media and the technology to support, to pursue the 21st century skill for your student. I will share to you the way I do that. Let's check by one. Let me show you about one of the instructional design here about by using Assure model. What is Assure? Sure, this is the model that actually developed by Henich and Molenda, and this is incorporated with Gagne 9-event instructional design. I think this is one of the effective use of media interaction in your classroom. One of the model that we choose Sure, for example, and then we are doing in the classroom the activities we are use namely the Gagne 9-event instructional design. This is Assure. Assure, this is the acronym from Analyze Learner. This is very important when you are wanted to designing the activities in your classroom. Totally, we must understanding about the student general characteristic. You know that we are totally agree that all of the students, they are unique. They are unique, and we must appreciate them. And also, they have many potential, and then the passion, potential, and passion. So, what should we do before we are going to designing and developing our material? Actually, the first we must understanding about the student learning style. How we do that? How we know that our student, the learning style, the domination in the classroom? You can use you can use a questionnaire, or maybe you can give interview. You ask them about the way they are learning. After you identify and analyze, you can state the objective. This is about the learning outcome, about what skill that actually the student must be improved. And then you understand what is your student want, what is your student need, and also you must identify their lack. For example, in my student, they are lack in communication. That's why I giving them the stimulus, how they must be demonstrate their communication skill in every meeting. All of the students must doing this project. And then select method and media material. Let's look out about your student condition. This is very important to select the method, media, and material, because we know that every student, every class, like in my university, have a problem of or have a condition. For example, in my classroom, yeah, we know so many platforms, so many technology like Microsoft, like Wakelet, Quizzes, and soon so many technology there, so many choice. But we come back with our student condition before we select. We ask them what is actually they are familiar with the technology or the tools. Yeah, maybe like in my university, most of in my classroom, most of the students, they are familiar and comfortable by using WhatsApp, by using YouTube, and by using another platform. And then after identify, we select the method and media material, we can also training them with another platform or another tools to how to engage them more in our classroom. Utilize media material in the classroom. How do the interaction we use this material, and then we require learner participation, doing discussion, collaboration, small group discussion, and then we are doing a formative assessment. And in the end of the semester, we can be evaluate, revise, or doing reflection all of these our activities in one semester. We are doing collaboration with the student. I share my experience to you. Actually, before I entering my new semester, or before we start our teaching and learning activities, in the first meeting, in the first week of the semester, I asked my student, I propose them our material about this today. In one semester, we are going learning English, for example. I ask them, what is actually the material you want. Yeah, they answer, I wanna by using film, I lack with my grammar, I lack with my speaking, and also about they don't know how about their cognitive behavior. They are not feeling comfortable and confident when they are talking by using English. So let's have a look. This is the simple and the example of the syllabus. When we are wanted to integrating the 21st century skill in our classroom, that I use this one and I am shared to you. I hope you can implementation or apply in your classroom activities. Yeah, we choose one of here the constructivist theory that I have mentioned before in the slide about. We choose one of the constructivist theory based on the learning theory. And then we choose instructional design, the model of instruction by using Gagne and Assure. Gagne 9-event instructional design, this is the activities. The first one, drawing attention of the student, inform student of the objective, stimulus, recall, or prior learning. This is 9-event instructional design, and we should do this to support the higher order thinking skill. When we are talking about the higher order thinking skill from Bloom taxonomy, actually this is related to the 21st century skill. Yeah. Again, about this is the lesson plan, the example of the lesson plan that should be remembered when we are wanted to apply in our classroom. Like today's, you know, we must support with the digital tools. This is for the example. This is the constructivist theory. We are use the example of model of teaching. Student-centered learning approach, we use one of them like project-based learning approach. And then Gagne, Bloom taxonomy and digital tools. Let's have a look one by one. In the PIESA, this is the theory from PIESA about constructivism, the project-based learning approach. What should we do? This is divided into 3 phases. The first phase, this is you should be you driving the question for your student. You need to know and what about the student choice and the student voice in your classroom. And then in Gagne, this is we connected all of them in Gagne. In Gagne theory, when we are doing driving question, and then we need to know about the student choice and voice about the previous material, for example, or they must doing prediction what is actually about our material. In Gagne, actually, we are totally doing introduce new topic, informing the learning outcome, and then reconnection, focus, and new information. We must informing to the student. Today, I want you to blah, blah, blah. For example, whatever your subject. I'm teaching English today. I want all of you must be speak. What about your subject? Maybe you are teaching mathematics, you are teaching social, you are teaching technology or something like that. In the Bloom taxonomy, actually, when in our learning activities, we are in this phase. Actually, we are doing lower order thinking skill for the student. This is with the Bloom taxonomy. Actually, we are in this lower order thinking skill. We just ask them to remembering and understanding. When we are doing this one, a phase in a meeting. And then the digital tools that support remembering and understanding by using Google. You can choose one of the digital tools. Yeah. Just remind that if totally you are doing in these activities in your classroom, I think this is not support for you to facilitate your student with the 21st century skill. What should we do to support them? We use all of this space into our meeting. In one meeting, we must support until the higher order thinking skill, doing evaluation and innovation. Yeah. So the second phase, after we do in this phase, we must ask them to doing discussion in the classroom, presenting, or they must doing the performa in the classroom. And what should we do in the guide? This is we just only help them. So when we help them to do the discussion, analyze the concept, and doing simulation, actually totally we make them more active in the classroom. In the Bloom taxonomy theory, actually we are ask them to do the applying and analyzing. Yeah, one of the digital tools you can choose, for example, Google Site or Padlet, for example, and then Google Classroom. Indonesia student very familiar with Google Classroom. And then the last activity share, you must ask them to do the conclusion and they must doing a feedback. And then this is the feedback that we should ask them to be more creative and then innovative. We can ask them to do their simulation to their feedback by using, for example, video. They must upload it, their video in YouTube. And then, yeah, we can use share like a video recording by phone, smartphone, or by using TikTok application. I think most of the students, they are familiar with TikTok. So that's why we can ask them to create their TikTok, but actually the content of the TikTok is the material, our learning material. They can be presenting their concept, their argumentation by using this TikTok. Let's take a look. This is about the funtainment. Actually, to do more, the student engage in the classroom, how to engage them. Actually, one of the strategy we can use, for example, funtainment, fun and education, entertainment and education. In the classroom, we can be mixing our material by using virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, or we can use artificial intelligence in our classroom. And then about the funtainment, actually this is my research that actually I have done in my classroom. I used this strategy, funtainment learning best. I material by using YouTube, by using games, by using film, and by using song. Most of this is totally beneficial for the student. And then the student believe by using this funtainment, in fact, for their for skill, the way they are learning right now, they can be doing the communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creative. Let's check out what should I do, and then I'm share to you what should you do if you wanted to actually to help your student to pursue or to increase their 21st century skill. Let me check about the one of the critical thinking. The critical thinking, this is interpretation. I mean that interpreted that what should we do in our classroom activities, our learning and teaching activities. Actually, for example, in my classroom, I show you this is the picture that in this page, when we see that they are playing the games, this is artificial intelligence. but actually they are doing this is open-ended discussion, and then this is help them to building up their confidence in conversation practice by using this artificial intelligence application. They are asking question, and then they seek for their own solution. When they have a problem, they have a solution from their self. Yeah, maybe some of us thinking that the student use smartphone in the classroom only for having fun and doing game, but actually by games they are totally learning, they are totally engaged. And the next analyze by using this artificial intelligence, for example, they are totally fostering inquiry-oriented experiment. They are learning cooperation, how they are sharing knowledge with their friends, with their group, with their team. And this is totally we are giving them in this instructional design by using GETI and even instructional design. And the last infer, yeah, this is they are doing dealing with the relevant today's. I mean that you can see here the picture. Actually, I'm recording their activities. Just cut all of the activities to show you that by using this assure and then ganyan and even instructional design, actually totally it will be help your student to pursue the 21 century skill. This is the must we do in our classroom when we wanted to integrating the 21 century skill. So the last, this is designing and creating funtainment material. Actually, I have showed to you my classroom, my experience when I am doing this, how to we are facilitate the student with the 21 century skill. Let's have a look. Let me come back with the theory about fun activities, education, and entertainment together, funtainment. This is the theory that actually support. We can be use YouTube based as our material by using a film, by using games, for example, TV program, for example, podcast, and then a many more entertainment. We can be implementation this entertainment as a material in our learning activities. Yeah, this is the support of the theory that actually entertainment, education, or edutainment, this is, we can be use all of these media and entertainment tools to help our student in to make our learning activities more active, enjoyable, and then fun. Yeah, about the theory, education by entertaining concept, actually we have choose a constructivism. Yeah, this is related to the constructivism theory. We choose one of a project-based learning. I have mentioned in the first slide. So about use game-based learning, actually, yeah, some of the educator of the theory that actually not support about use a game, but actually this is game based learning. Actually, this is effective engagement, and then this is can be engage the student effective behavior, cognitive and social cultural engagement. Happening in my classroom when I use the game-based learning by using artificial intelligence skill. Technology, when we wanted to designing our material, our teaching material, we should be choose the material, the media, and the material. Why this is very important? Because you know that related to the blend system, I mean, this is the pedagogy related to the pedagogy theory that for understanding and remembering in the level 1, this is lower order thinking skill. if you ask your student, you do this action, you do this activity, like you ask them to memorize, you ask them to identify your material, identify blah, blah, blah. You must analyze blah, blah, blah. For example, what is your material? You ask them to recall, to explain, to recall the material, to recite your material. Actually, you still doing lower order thinking skill for your student. You only ask them to remembering and understanding in every day, in every meeting that in your classroom. So you must change. We should be in this situation in the level of 4, doing creativity. We can ask them the activities and the action. For example, we can ask them to design, to synthesize, to apply the concept, to do the criticize, to analyze. Actually, the right action, the right activity, and the right technology, this is the good choice, excellent choice to support your student the higher order thinking skill. So that's why we must understanding about the pedagogy, the way we are teaching. This is a very important as educator. So yeah, this is some of the technology map. The technology map from lower order thinking skill, remembering, understanding, and applying into the higher order thinking skill. They can be doing analyzing, evaluating, and creating. So you can choose one of these tools or technology or application. But yeah, you know, when you see and identify, mostly this platform actually support with the social media. Social media, the student very familiar with the social media like TikTok, like Pinterest, like Facebook, and many more. And then this is the map of Teaching 21st Century Skill Map. Actually, this is about the skill. If you wanna to help your student to you can facilitate your student to improve their, for example, communication skill. You can choose Facebook. You ask them to building their community, a social community and digital community, for example, by using Facebook, doing collaboration by using Edmodo, critical thinking and problem solving, yeah, by using Padlet or by using MindMeister. This is to create the student mind mapping. Creativity and innovation, information literacy. This is the media tools or technology, media literacy, like, yeah, mostly Facebook. So many social media domination. Actually, this is the Gen Z characteristic. They are doing their communication, collaboration by a social media. Yeah, Instagram, for example. Media literacy, technology literacy, flexibility and adaptability, initiative and self-direction by using Zotero, for example, or MindMeister. Social cross-cultural skill, productivity, accountability, and leadership and responsibility. So we must understanding that all of this technology, when you wanted to ask your student, actually have so many outcome. That's why we must training them with this technology. They must understanding and use this technology to support their future career. And this is some of the research that support the how is social media being used in the classroom today. So many research support, like by using Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, blog, and then YouTube. Let's check it out. This is, for example, Facebook. Facebook, like speaking English club, and then so many, and then informal learning application like Duolingo, Rosetta Stone. Sorry. Yeah. Or by using artificial intelligence like this one. This is I have implementation in my classroom, and then by use of virtual reality, so many choice. This is a Funtainment, actually about Funtainment. My research I have published in this article. And why we must change the way we are teaching, because you know that the student, we must engage them. They must do, so they will be more understand. When they are engaged, they are active, they will be more understanding. So the way we are teaching, we must change, because our student not like us, not like you, accept, and then we must teach differently. So yeah, you know, the Gen Z, our students, they are the Gen Z. They are familiar with the social media, as I have showed to you about the teaching in the 21st century skill map. Actually, mostly the platform totally agree with the totally support the social media as a tool. You can use a social media as your learning and teaching material. And then, yeah, millennial maybe spend their time on mobile, but also the Gen Z is more active in the social media. That's why we should support them, because we know this is the Gen Z, they are born digital, but we still more care to them about, we must facilitate and support them about this have autonomy in learning, self-direct and self-determined learning, knowing how to learn. This is related to the metacognitive skill. Let me share again about this state of personalized learning environment before we are going to designing our material that are related to the assured theory that we must be understanding the student choice and voice. We must understanding about their learning characteristic, their learning style, and then we must collaboration with our student. So maybe some of us still writing or doing writing our syllabus, our lesson plan by yourself as educator. But if you wanted to designing and developing your material, we must be a collaboration with the student to design our syllabus, our lesson plan together. Because you know, the student, when we are teaching, this is not about us as educator one, the teacher one, but actually come back. What is actually your student want, your student need. This is the mind core to make them more active in the classroom, because this is the student want, this is they need, they will be more engaged. So let me introduce to you about the when you wanted to designing your material. For example, this is in my experience when I developing my material by using Funtainment. This is the theory that from research and development or R&D. This is one of the methodology if you wanted to designing your material based on your student need. Your student need, not the teacher need or educator need or you need, but come back for your student. I think this is, we are actually implementation the human right in education. So educational product and based on the how to say, based on the R&D, research and development. Actually, there are so many products that we can be as the outcome when we are use this research and development, or we are designing the material. For example, we can be the product in education, like a new curriculum. You can create your product, a new curriculum, your teaching method, your product, your outcome, a teaching method, educational media, textbook or module, and then a classroom arrangement. There are so many educational, educational product that if you use this instructional design by using Assure, for example. And then about the Assure, this is what should we do, actually developing the product based on the finding. What is actually your identify? For example, your student, they are learning style visual. Most of the student domination by visual learning style. So you should be choose the material, the learning material, the method, and the technology totally by using visually tools. This is the step if you want to designing your material. There are 10 steps here that actually support research and development. We must doing the experiment of our product itself. Let's check out. This is the example of my classroom when I developing my material by using Fun-Tainment learning base that actually I have mentioned before. Yeah, this is the highlight answer of the student from Google Form. This is actually reply by 321 students reply this questionnaire, and most of them, the student totally agree by using the material with a film, song, short story, novel, but the highlight by using a film and song. And then they are choose the social media by using WhatsApp, Facebook. They are familiar with the social media, and then they are like online, watching online. Yeah, we come back about the global data. Let's have a look why YouTube content based or film are very interesting right now for the student. This is the global data. Most of the people in the world actually in this category, they are use Facebook and YouTube. And also in my country, Indonesia, YouTube is domination in Indonesia. Yeah, the social media platform that actually more familiar in Indonesia by using YouTube and WhatsApp. And then online content, this is by using YouTube. And I believe this is related to my data from my questionnaire that actually most of the people in Indonesia very interesting with online, watching online videos by YouTube. And I believe my student also in this category. Let's have a look. YouTube again in Indonesia, mostly by YouTube. So that's why I use a film in my classroom. Or I will share to you how I use film. This is the example by using artificial intelligence. Yeah, this is the student when we are apply blended learning environment in my classroom. And then by using virtual reality, yeah, I use this virtual reality in my classroom. The student active, they are more active actually in the classroom. They are active than their teacher, than me. Let's check out about by using a film, how film or this is content YouTube based actually support the student 21 century skill. This is the model of teaching that actually I have developing, and this is the model of teaching, only 5 steps. It will be help you to facilitate your student with the 21 century skill or the higher order thinking skill. Let's have a look in the warm-up. Actually, in the warm-up, we ask them to understanding and remembering the material. This is the film. This is the content of the film is your material. This is just example. If you are teaching about the technology in your classroom, you can play or you can choose the film related to your material, to your content. In the warm-up, you can ask them before they are watching the movie. You ask them to remembering and understanding. Ask them. We play the film. We watching the film. You must understanding and remembering actually the film. You must understand what is the robot, what is the technology, what is the computer. This is the content of your material, for example. If you are teaching about economy, you are teaching about English, absolutely, the material related, the video related to your content, your material. And then in the presenting, you can ask them to create the mapping or brainstorming. What should they do? They must apply to analyze the concept of robot, computer, and technology. And in the practice, they will be construct the new content based on the movie or the content. And in the production, you can ask them to write their summary, write their argumentation, write their novelty argument. What is actually their thinking about this material. And then the last evaluation, you can ask your student to answer the question related to the material. And this is my classroom. For example, I'm using Padlet. They are discussion here. They are doing their demonstration by using Padlet. This is the student project, the video. And then if you want to design your material, you can use one of the platform, namely Lecturer Inspire. But actually, most of the university have a learning management system. But if you cannot do with yourself, you can use this Lecturer Inspire and also articulate a mobile design. And this is the example of my classroom when I developing the material. I use film in my classroom. And then, they are totally active. We are choose this material. We are choose this tool. And then not only in the classroom, sometimes the student want. This is my student one. This is not mine. The student want, they wanna be learned in outdoor. So this is outdoor. So what about if the student don't have internet connection? And nothing can stop education. That actually I shared to you the video here. Oh, sorry. This is the video about the student. We prepare the student situation. If the student don't have internet connection, we can still ongoing our education by using this is namely a local or conventional games. This is effective for the student that in the blank spot area, like you know, in Indonesia, 50% area in Indonesia, we are in the rural area, don't have internet connection. Some of them, they are in the poverty, don't have a smartphone, don't have device or laptop. And then we must support them with the local. I mean that this is a local game or local technology. This is related to the actually not about we use the technology and we believe the technology will not replace the teacher, and then we use this about how we are actually improve our teaching skill with our pedagogy, with the pedagogy skill. Oh, the PPT not moving. Sorry. Yeah. So I think this is will be the last of my PPT about I'm sharing to you that we are totally agree. We use the technology to make our learning and teaching process to be more active, to be more practice, effective and efficient. And then we engage them to pursue the 21 century skill. This is come back again as we are as educator, the way we are designing and creating our material. This is a very important to support the student 21 century skill. So thank you for having me and listening to me today. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I have problem, but it's okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for such an insightful session and for your words. I have a very small question to ask. Can I?
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
Ma'am, I wanted to know that is it important to merge a traditional educational way with the new transformed modern education way?
Yeah. Why I say that because so many educators, so many students not lucky like for us. I showed to you Indonesian condition. We have so many problem and challenge. Yeah, in another side we are in the digital era, but in another side we still have many condition. The condition. This is come back again with the condition. So what should we do? How we cannot be integration the technology without internet? This is the problem. No internet, no technology. This is the fact. This is the fact. No internet connection, no device, no smartphone, no laptop. So we cannot be come back again with the last choice. We come back. We use the game. Like I showed to you that actually my PPT na working. This is we use gamification. That actually all of these games right now available in digitally. Everything right now available in digitally. So come back with your student condition. If your student have a good skill in technology, you can use the technology. But if they don't have, so I think this is not fair. If we ask them to do this. So yeah, this is the homework for all of us. Like in Indonesia, totally we need support from our Ministry of Education and Ministry of Communication to support internet infrastructure for this the blank spot area. I mean that this is blank spot area. Sometimes the student they have device, they have a laptop, they have smartphone, but no internet connection. In another side, in another situation, they don't have both of no internet connection, no smartphone, and no laptop device. So I think this is not fair if we are not do the same activities, but with another way. So that's why nothing can stop education. The technology, this is the second choice. The technology will not replace the teacher because the teacher can do have so many solutions, so many ways, so many alternative based on the student situation and the student condition. I think this is for me. Your mic, your mic. Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your
Yeah.
words and for the insightful session you gave to us. You
Thank
drove back the point home so well that we are really grateful for your time that you took out from your busy schedule.
Thank you. My
Thank you
pleasure.
so much, ma'am. Your
Namaste.
presence magnified the cause in the best possible way. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Happy
Bye
good
bye,
day.
ma'am. Thank you. Have a good day.
Good afternoon from Indonesia.